Now on Nightside, a man shot and killed by law enforcement officers in rural Moses Lake tonight. What we know so far about the shooting.
It's snowing and sticking in some valley locations tonight. I'll let you know if you're going to wake up with snow in the first alert forecast.
And school bonds in Washington are failing at record rates. Why lottery, cannabis, and timber revenue aren't enough and what it means for our local schools. You're watching 4 News Now, Nightside. Well, one person was shot and killed by law enforcement officers northeast of Moses Lake tonight. Good evening, and thanks for staying up with us. I'm Derek Dice. The Grant County Sheriff's Office says the shooting happened on Road L.9 Northeast. They say sheriff's deputies and Moses Lake police officers went there regarding an open investigation and saw a man walking around the property. He was found inside a barn armed with a rifle, then came out of that barn with the rifle aimed at the officers. 5 deputies fired their weapons. The man was given emergency medical treatment but died at the scene. Because Grant County Sheriff's deputies and Moses Lake police officers were involved, the Central Basin Investigative Team will be leading the investigation. As we learn more about this story, we'll share it with you on our newscast and on KXLY.com. All right, here's a live look at New America Veterans Arena in downtown Spokane. Actually, that's the U.S. Pavilion in Riverfront Park, but there is New America Veterans Arena, where rain is slowly starting to change into snow, or at least it's trying to. And Chris Crocker, this is just the start of snow we're expecting to see this week.
Yes, and it's trying here in downtown Spokane, but it has already succeeded in other locations around the inland northwest, including down on the Palouse. This is the scene right now on 3rd Street in Washington in Moscow, where they've got some snow on the ground. Also on campus, I understand over an inch of snow on the grassy surfaces. Meanwhile, at Hayden, it is currently snowing and sticking in spots, but boy, it has been fairly warm. All of the streets and sidewalks are warm enough that it's taking a while before it's really going to stick, but you may wake up with some on the grassy surfaces. We're zoomed in on our Doppler radar on the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area, and we do see a lot of green and blue mixed in together, but also a little bit of a back edge. Spokane is really going to miss out on the snow. I think anything that we get will be very, very light from this point out. Meanwhile, down on the Palouse, it's been snowing for a few hours now, so it's had a chance to pile up in spots. Further to the north, it is still more of a rain-snow mix in Sandpoint, also down through parts of Coeur d'Alene. All of this is going to be slowly tapering off by early tomorrow morning, but we do have some winter weather advisories to tell you about. Up to an inch of snow in the Coeur d'Alene area, up to an inch of snow on the Idaho and Washington Palouse, with 2 to 5 in the mountains of the central panhandle, 1 to 2 down in the valleys. Meanwhile, I want to share this photo with you from Joseph Chiantarero. This was the scene in Plummer, where it is snowing and sticking. There are many more opportunities for snow, not only in the valleys, but really piling up in the mountains. I'll tell you all about it in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Mid-February is usually the heart of ski season around here, but this year is different. Across the different ski resorts, many runs are closed, and some areas of the mountains look more like they normally would in the spring. And it's having a ripple effect on businesses that rely on snow. A lot of ski shops, including Alpine House, are starting to run pretty hefty discounts to make up for the decrease in sales. Some items are even half off. This includes winter clothes and some older models of skis and snowboards. And if you buy 2 accessories like a helmet and goggles, you can also save a pretty good amount. We asked Alpine House how it's dealing with the rough winter.
We've just seen, a less than normal amount of foot traffic coming through the store, and so we're just offering what we can in those situations, trying to make lemonade out of the lemons that we get.
And the store says it's even started to put out bikes about a month earlier than it usually would, which has been helping out with some of the sales. School bonds are failing at a very high rate across Washington, and many people are wondering if school districts have other funding sources to lean on. Schools do receive money from the lottery, cannabis, and timber industries, but that only makes up about 2% of each school's funding. Local levies make up about 15% of that funding, while the majority of the funding comes from the state. But State Superintendent Chris Rakedahl says recent budget proposals could reduce how much schools are getting.
Budget and prior budgets have cut our state's funding per student when we adjust for inflation by $500 a kid over the last 6 or 7 years. So not only are we not investing more as we should, we're actually going the wrong direction.
And when school districts turn to local taxpayers for funding, school bonds are failing more often. Bonds are typically much longer terms than levies, usually 10 to 25 years, and they require a 60% supermajority to pass. Spokane Transit Authority's double-decker buses are returning to the streets tomorrow. STA pulled all of its double-deckers off the streets after this one crashed into a viaduct last month. Since then, STA has been investigating the crash and implementing some new safety protocols. Tomorrow, the buses and their drivers will head out to test these new safety measures. Those include operators completing a second round of training. Navigation software has been disabled, making it so operators have to rely on required knowledge of their assigned routes. They'll also have to make a safety stop before driving under viaducts and provide verbal communication with dispatch when they leave the STA plaza and when they're entering downtown. While no passengers will be on board, STA says it hopes to have the double-deckers fully operating on routes 6 and 66 by the end of the month. Earlier this evening, a bill that would raise taxes on Washington's highest earners made it out of the Senate. It was approved in a 27-22 vote. If signed into law, the state would place a nearly 10% tax on personal income over $1 million. Critics argue it would not help families struggling right now since it wouldn't go into effect until 2028. Some Republican lawmakers say this tax could open the door to a statewide income tax sometime down the line. It now heads to the House for consideration. Spokane nonprofits are fighting proposed state budget cuts that could reduce services for abuse survivors. The organizations say they need $21.3 million to maintain basic victim support services statewide. But Governor Bob Ferguson has allocated only $12 million, which is 40% less than last year. The cuts could mean fewer counselors, shelter beds, and crisis hotline staff for families in need.
There aren't enough volunteers, donations, or fundraisers to fund what is at risk. More than anything, we want people to call the representatives and ensure that victim services are fully funded this next year.
Lutheran Community Services is just one of several nonprofits advocating for more funding. The YWCA, Mujeres in Action, and Partners with Families and Children all help this vulnerable community, serving more than 23,000 families in 2025 alone. Advocates worry the budget cuts will leave fewer people to answer calls for help. All right, Armia Green joins us now with a look at the 3A high school basketball district playoffs.
Ridgeline girls basketball entered the district playoffs as the #1 seed. We spent some time with the Falcons ahead of the second round. Ridgeline opened district play with a statement win over Mount Spokane, pushing its record to 17-4 and moving one step closer to state. The Falcons entered the tournament as the #1 seed, powered by two of the GSL's leading scorers. Senior Maddie Crowley averages nearly 19 points a game, while junior Grace Sheridan adds more than 17 a night, powering one of the league's most dangerous backcourts. But this postseason run also leans on youth. The Falcons carry 7 freshmen on varsity, including 2 in the starting lineup, asking them to grow up fast under veteran leadership. Head coach Freddie Rico spoke about the mental preparation it takes to balance discipline and confidence.
I think a lot of it is, there's such a learning curve that there's a lot of mistakes that are made, and there's two kind of ways that people can address it. One, you can get on them and teach them the accountability, discipline, and responsibility, which is one part of it for us. And then the other part of it is you also have to help build their confidence. And so you have to find that good mix between the two.
The Falcons host Southridge tomorrow at 4 p.m. and with the win, they punch their ticket to state and will play the winner of the matchup between Hermiston and University. Lots in store for high school hoops. We still have more sports later in the show, including all the college hoops action across the Inland Northwest. But for now, back to you, Derek.
All right, Mia, thank you. The father of a man who was injured in a fight outside of University of Idaho fraternity says he's considering filing a civil lawsuit following the Moscow police announcing they won't be filing any criminal charges in the case. The fight happened between DoorDash driver Austin Dawson and U of I student Arath Chavez nearly 5 months ago. Dawson fell into a coma following the fight. Police say no charges will be filed because Dawson's injuries came from hitting his head on the pavement after being tackled and not from the 4 punches Chavez threw while he was on the ground.
I don't know how you hit your head on the concrete. Then the punches after that while your head's still on the concrete didn't do anything wrong. didn't make any more damage. It's unheard of, especially considering that Austin has black ice from what, 4 or 5 months ago still. So, you know, it was obviously significant.
Adam Dawson is Austin's father. He calls the result disturbing and disputes the police version of events. Police say they came to this conclusion using video, audio recordings, and witness statements. Winter is returning with more snow predicted in the 7-day forecast. We'll get you ready for the week with our full First Alert forecast when we return.
Download the KXLY Plus app on your connected TV.
4 News Now is brought to you by Zero Res.
You expect more from local news. 4 News Now delivers. We're doing the work, listening to you, asking questions, and getting the answers you need to help keep your family safe. It's what we mean when we say, expect more on 4 News Now.
Why choose between getting things done and doing things with the ones you love? With Fred Meyer same-day pickup and delivery, you can shop the same great prices you'd find in store, and we bring the groceries right to you, so you can catch more family time. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
Power up, America. The Ford President's Day sales event is here. Save on the vehicles that will take you places, give you a surge of productivity, and a new sense of freedom. So, head to your local Ford dealer, because it's time to get in the driver's seat. Get a 2025 Bronco Sport Big Bend starting at just $27,800, plus a 2-year maintenance plan, only at your local Ford dealer.
Why say no when it feels so good to say yes? Want some help? Yes. Want to skip the line? Yes. Watch an unreleased season of your favorite show? Yes. How about a credit union with low loan rates, no hidden fees, online banking, and friendly member services? Yes. Experience how good yes can feel.
Fred Meyer always gives you more ways to save, like low prices in every aisle. Plus, you can clip and save more with digital coupons in the app and earn fuel points to save up to $1 per gallon at the pump. Discover more ways to save big. Fred Meyer, fresh for everyone.
This show is wonderful, Jimmy.
You're defending democracy.
Yes! People have spoken. There's a lot more to come, so save your energy here.
Jimmy Kimmel Live, weeknights on ABC. 4 News Now is brought to you by Gold Seal Plumbing.
Welcome back. Golf season is right around the corner, and to kick things off, the Spokane Golf Show is coming to the Convention Center this weekend. You'll be able to find great deals on equipment, golf rounds, and golf travel. The show will feature more than 100 exhibitors, exclusive deals, family activities, and more. There will also be an indoor driving range, free instructional area, and skills contest. The show starts this Saturday. For the show's hours on each day, you can find the story on our website at KXLY.com. The golf show, always a good time, and you come away with a lot of stuff.
Oh yeah,
when you go there,
free stuff and golf tips. And I have to say, a lot of people have been able to golf just about all winter because of our mild weather.
Sure.
And but now it's time to focus back on skiing, as we're going to get that snow going. Here's the view outside on our time lapse today, and oh boy, it really is trying to snow in downtown, but it has been all rain for us down at 1,900 feet. The airport has been reporting snow for the last hour or so. The forecast snow is really going to leave Spokane out of the equation. It started in the Palouse and is just staying over North Idaho, where the totals will be in general less than an inch. Couple of exceptions, St. Mary's and Kellogg's, and this is additional snow with what has already fallen. Tuesday, your hour-by-hour forecast, our opportunity for snow will stop in the early morning hours. 28 degrees at 7 a.m. So watch for slick spots where wet roads, sidewalks, slush is refreezing. We'll be at freezing by 10 a.m. Mid-30s throughout the afternoon. 38 degrees at 2. And we bring back a slight chance of snow as we get into the afternoon. I'll show you the computer model in just a moment. 39 for high, 40 is our average high. So we're right in the ballpark with these temperatures. 41 in Meade, 42 in 9 Mile, 40 degrees in Coeur d'Alene and Spangle. We'll be in the 40s in in Pullman, St. Mary's, and Kellogg. So the snow that you do get might not be there when you get home from work and school tomorrow. We have a chance of precipitation every single day through the forecast, but there's no real overwhelming event for the next 5 days. It's just going to be hit and miss snow showers. Let's do our forecast radar. Keeping the snow going through North Idaho through the night. Here's 8 a.m. We begin to dry out completely until we get into Tuesday night. Then comes our next round of snow for Spokane, Coeur d'Alene, North Idaho. We dry out again for most of Wednesday. Convective snow showers showing up in the afternoon, and we have another round of snow coming in on Thursday. So very hit and miss, but every single day. And of course, this is going to be piling up in the mountains. Meanwhile, our temperatures, we are going to be dipping down into the mid-30s for the next few days before we start warming back up to average in the extended forecast. And that's where we have a better chance to see a rain-snow mix. About the only day that looks close to completely dry is Saturday, but still a 20% chance of precipitation there. The mountains, again, it'll be piling up day after day, but it's not going to amount to much what we get down in the valleys. A beautiful pick of the night to share with you tonight from our friend Brent Clark, taking us to the Burt Canyon, to the Hecla Star Mine Company complex. Beautiful picture there of a historic part of our history. I love the head frame there on the right side of your screen. Thank you, Brent, for the nifty wintry photo. Derek?
Yeah, great pick. Oscar-winning actor Robert Duvall has died, according to a statement sent by his public relations agency on behalf of his wife. Duvall died peacefully at his home in Virginia on Sunday. He was best known for his roles in The Godfather and Apocalypse Now. The family said those who wish to honor his memory are encouraged to do so in a way that reflects the life he lived, by watching a great film, telling a good story with friends, or taking a drive in the countryside to appreciate the world's beauty. Robert Duvall was 95 years old. Well, next year on Nightside, 2 people are dead and 3 others hospitalized from a shooting in Rhode Island. The latest details. And it's week 3 now in the search for Nancy Guthrie, the missing mother of Today Show host Savannah Guthrie. What the Sheriff's Department knows so far about the suspect.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
All month long, find presidential savings on a new 25 Sierra 1500 Elevation. Now just $199 a month lease. There's never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
Style or substance? Somehow, it became one or the other. But there is another choice. Not stopping until you have everything in the GMC Sierra. Get 0% APR on Sierra 1500 models.
ShopDaveSmith.com. I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
When it comes to your cancer treatments, you have choices.
It's important to explore your options. A second opinion will help you to make a more informed decision about your treatment. Contact Summit Cancer Centers today. One of our cancer specialists will speak to you directly, offering you same-day second opinions and options available for your type of cancer. And second opinions are covered by most insurance companies. Cancer, it's worth a second look. Summit Cancer Centers. Integrative, innovative, inspired.
Hi, I'm Congressman Michael Baumgartner. One of my jobs is to help veterans navigate the VA and to help all of you cut through the red tape at federal agencies, including the VA, Medicare, Social Security, the IRS, and USDA. Remember, I work for you.
All month long, find presidential savings up to $9,000 off a new Sierra 2500 HD Denali or 4.9% APR. There's never any dealer-added markups on new vehicles. And ask us about our 3-day return and 7-day exchange at GMC of Riverfront Park.
4 News Now is brought to you by Revel Spokane Senior Living with new discounted pricing.
Welcome back to Nightside. A shooting at an ice rink in Rhode Island leaves 2 people dead and 3 others hospitalized. Law enforcement says an active shooter killed 2 people before turning the gun on themselves. A warning, the video we're about to show you may be disturbing, and while it doesn't show anyone getting shot, you do hear the gunfire and see the panic from spectators and the kids on the ice. Here's ABC's Melissa Adon with the story.
Investigators are looking into this video from when gunfire erupted inside an ice skating rink in Pawtucket, Rhode Island during a high school hockey game. Players seen skating off the rink to safety.
We have 1 shooter down at the location. We have 5 injured.
It was very scary. We were very nervous.
16-year-old Olin Lawrence says he was on the ice when he heard the shooting.
And I thought it was balloons at first. It was like bop, bop, and I thought it was balloons. But it just kept going, and it was actually gunshots. And after the gunshots, me and my teammates ran right to the locker room, and we just bunkered up.
Several law enforcement agencies rushing to the Dennis Lynch Arena, about 5 miles outside Providence, around 2:30 p.m. Pawtucket police say 2 people died from the shooting, and the suspected shooter was also found dead at the scene from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. 3 others were injured by the gunfire and hospitalized.
We can also tell you that a Good Samaritan stepped in and interjected in this scene, and that's probably what led to a swift end of this tragic event.
The names and ages of the victims have not been released yet as officials continue notifying family members. Melissa Adon, ABC News, Los Angeles.
We still have hope.
A new plea from Savannah Guthrie today for her mother's kidnapper to return her mom. 84-year-old Nancy Guthrie has been missing for more than 2 weeks now. Investigators say they're focusing on a black latex glove found 2 miles from Guthrie's home. The glove contains male DNA and appears similar to what the masked person wears in the doorbell camera video from Guthrie's home.
Well, you've got DNA, so that's of use. Now we have to go through and try to eliminate people.
The FBI is comparing DNA from that glove to 22 million samples in a national database. Investigators are also tracking the suspect's backpack seen in the doorbell video. They determined that backpack sells for $11 at Walmart, and they're now tracking purchases from local stores. The Sheriff's Department has cleared all Guthrie family members and their spouses as suspects, calling them cooperative victims. Searchers in Michigan have found the wreckage of a steamer that sank more than 150 years ago. After spending 65 years searching for it, 80-year-old Paul Ehorn and his team discovered the Lac La Belle in Lake Michigan. The discovery was initially made in 2022, but the team waited to announce their discovery until they could make a 3D model of the ship.
It's pretty rare. I can't think the last time one of these, Civil War era passenger steamers was even found on the Great Lakes. It really is a nautical time capsule.
Lac La Belle took her final voyage in October of 1872 when the ship started to leak, sinking with a cargo of pork, flour, and whiskey. 8 people were killed, but dozens were able to make it to shore on lifeboats. Ehorn says he plans to unveil the 3D video of the ship during an event next month. Now for some of our top trending stories in the 4 News Now Story Tracker. Demolition has begun on Spokane's oldest school. Adams Elementary is being torn down and will be replaced with an all-new building. It's expected to be built and ready for students by the fall of 2027. In the meantime, Adams students are attending school at Camp Adams, which is held on the old Jefferson Elementary building at 37th and Grant. Next, a Spokane family is asking for help to bring a wife and mother home after ICE agents arrested her outside the Spokane County Courthouse. Lauren Morris was taken into custody last Wednesday in front of her 16-month-old daughter while leaving a probation hearing. Her husband says she's been a legal U.S. resident since she was 15. The family has launched a GoFundMe account to pay for an immigration lawyer ahead of her February 26th hearing. And topping our list, Washington State Patrol troopers say a 48-year-old Spokane man was driving the wrong way in the westbound lanes of I-90 when he crashed on the westbound off-ramp to Hamilton Street Sunday morning. After the crash, investigators say the man got out of his vehicle and sat on the edge of the bridge. Witnesses tried to get him away from the bridge, but he jumped and was pronounced dead at the scene. No one else was hurt in the crash. WSP says the man's name has not been released, but his family has been notified. You can find each of these stories and much more on our website, KXLY.com. All right, the Gonzaga Bulldogs, Mia, handed the Santa Clara Broncos their first home loss of the season on Saturday.
And that decisive win put them on top of the WCC standings, and they moved up in the AP poll rankings. We'll show you how the Bulldogs moved up one spot to number 11 and the latest update on Braden Huff's left knee injury. Stick with us.
Sign up for the 4 News Now Daily Local at KXLY.com.
This February, we're celebrating love on live.
Weekdays at 9 a.m.
It was like a fantasy.
JFK Jr. and Carolyn Bessette represent American glamour.
He was a hunk. He liked being the sexiest man alive.
Carolyn Bessette is effortlessly glamorous.
They were really in love.
From the very beginning, they had a volatile relationship. And unfortunately, the cameras were always there to record it.
They had glamour, they had tragedy. They are an unfinished story.
John and Carolyn, Love, Beauty, and Loss. Tuesday night on ABC and stream on Disney Plus and Hulu.
So I had pain in my feet for a good 20 years.
It felt like I was standing on marbles.
Something wasn't working with my feet.
Was diagnosed with plantar fasciitis.
If your feet aren't comfortable, the rest of the body suffers.
So I went into the Good Feet store and bam.
They wanted to make sure that they gave me the right arch support.
You put in the arch supports. To me, it was almost miraculous.
It really brought me back to being able to be me.
I can run, I can walk. This is not something that you could solve online.
Reclaim the good life with a free arch support fitting at the Good Feet store. Good feet, good life.
After a car wreck, Big Insurance moves fast to protect themselves, not you.
I called Craigsoft and Associates. They not only fought for me, but treated me fairly every step of the way.
One call, that's all.
509-999-9999.
92.9 CCU.
This is your community, and your stories deserve to be heard. At 4 News Now, we're here to listen, connect, and bring you the news that truly matters. Numerica believes in and supports that mission.
Thank you.
I got this.
Thanks. I'm Alex.
I'm Jade.
Welcome into sports. The Gonzaga Bulldogs are atop of the West Coast Conference after defeating Santa Clara. The Zags handed the Broncos their first home loss of the season. The Zags took care of business, delivering a decisive win that put them alone atop of the WCC standings. And the win added significance after falling out of the AP Top 10 rankings after a shocking road loss to the Portland Pilots. Gonzaga has since responded with steady performances against Oregon State, Washington State, and now Santa Clara. The Bulldogs are 25-2 overall and moved up one spot in the AP rankings from number 12 to number 11. And Gonzaga's big man, Graham Ike, earned the West Coast Conference Player of the Week honor for the 5th time this season. Ike dominated from the opening tip and at halftime had 19 points and 7 rebounds, a near double-double. And when the game wrapped up, he put up a total of 21 points and 15 rebounds against the Broncos and is the nation's leading scorer with 2,414 points and second with 1,906 rebounds. And an update on Braden Huff, who has been out since January 15th with a left knee injury. Head coach Mark Few said last night, quote, "We said 4 to 8 weeks, it'll be at least 8. He's still on crutches. We'll get him off crutches here in a little while. As that progresses, we'll see how it's going. He's a long ways from getting back, but hopefully, who knows." And for the Gonzaga women's team, they're fresh off of a loss to LMU and will host Washington State, who just lost to Portland. These two programs have met more than 36 times since the late 1970s. Gonzaga has owned the recent stretch, winning a majority of the matchups in the last decade, including the last one down in Pullman, 81-75. These two teams will meet again this Thursday in the Kennel at 6 p.m. And for the Washington State men's team, their latest game was a loss to Gonzaga, and they will host Pacific, who just lost to St. Mary's. This is a key conference battle with important seeding implications as regular season winds down. Last season had their first ever matchups between the two, and the Tigers are 2-0 on the series. Tip-off in Pullman is Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. And for the Idaho men's team, they're fresh off of a massive 30-point win over Idaho State. By halftime, the Vandals already poured in 60 points and 3 players in double figures. The second half story was similar to the first. The V's never trailed and claimed its largest win over its in-state rival in over 35 years. Head coach Alex Pribble spoke about the impact of this win.
Great for our community and our crowd, you know, to be able to
be recognized like that and take home the trophy. And those rivalry games are big for a lot of the alumni that are sitting in the crowd right there. So great moment for the program and for what we're trying to build. For me personally, it's much more about this is just a big step forward for our group, right? And as we get towards Big Sky Tournament in Boise, we need to be playing our best basketball, and it's a good step towards that. But yes, it's great to be able to have King Spud and win by a good amount and go home with a big smile on our face.
The Idaho Vandals will be on the road to face Portland this Saturday with tip-off in Oregon set for 6 p.m. And for high school hoops, round 2 of district playoffs is tomorrow. The Ridgeline Falcons girls team enters as the #1 seed after a 16-win regular season and beating Mount Spokane in round 1 to move to 17-4. The Falcons have one of the top offenses in the GSL with 2 of GSL's leading scorers. As they prepare, head coach Freddie Rico spoke about the importance of this matchup.
The seed means nothing if you don't take care of it, and so we're going into this game tomorrow. We're playing Southridge that's 17-5. I mean, we're 17-4. I mean, we have to assume that this game is going to be just yet another battle, and so we got to come in, protect our home floor, but more importantly, we got to make sure that we don't take Southridge lightly, because if we win on Tuesday, then we punch our ticket to state.
Tip-off at Ridgeline High School is tomorrow at 4 p.m. And Derek, one thing that I learned quickly when I first moved here is how serious high school hoops gets. I mean, of course, you're a hoops dad, so we have to talk about how serious it is here.
I think all the GSL, right, 4A, 3A, 2A have games tomorrow in the playoffs, so including some loser-out games. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all shakes out, Mia. Thank you. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Is it time to update your living spaces? Don't overspend at the big box store. Come see us at Consign Furniture and browse the largest selection of like-new consignment furniture in Liberty Lake. Visit us online or stop by today. Consign Furniture. It's the smart way to buy.
It's 2026 and Bill's Heating is celebrating the new year with an incredible offer. $26 tune-ups for a limited time. That's a full professional heating system check to keep your furnace running safely, efficiently, and reliably through the heart of winter. Our service trucks are already on the road, and when a Bill's Heating technician pulls into your driveway, you know your comfort is in good hands. So call 208-777-5528 now to schedule your $26 tune-up. Bill's Heating, comfort you can count on.
Resilience. At Shriners Children's, we're leaders in pediatric sports medicine. With expertise in sprains, tears, fractures, and other sports-related injuries. We're here to deliver the best care in the business and never allow your ability to pay for services to compromise the care your child needs. Because every great comeback starts with a game plan for empowering the extraordinary. Shriners Children's, the most amazing care anywhere.
See the USA in your Chevrolet. America's asking you to call. Drive your Chevrolet through the USA. America's the greatest land of all.
Get 1.9% financing on all 2026 Silverado 1500 pickups. Or get $6,350 total value on this Silverado. Plus $1,000 trade assistance when you trade in an eligible vehicle.
If you're considering updating your living spaces, let our team do all the heavy lifting. We will pick up and sell your like-new consignment furniture.
Consign Furniture. It's the easy way to sell, smart way to buy.
See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.
Well, the official start of the Lunar New Year is tomorrow. 2026 is the year of the horse. In case you didn't know already, this holiday is considered the most important event of the year in China and for Chinese communities around the world. Celebrations vary depending on the country or region, but there are a few common traditions. Some of them include a big dinner with family. I always love this next one. Cash gifts in those red packets for kids, and deep cleaning the home to get rid of bad luck from the past year.
That is just, my neighbors brought over little pork dumplings.
Ooh, nice.
And there was some red envelope exchanging for the children. Planning your forecast. Snow on the way for the next several days, but just in little bits, except in the mountains where it will be piling up.
Yeah, and we've seen some areas around the inland northwest with some snow on the ground, not here in Spokane,
not here in Spokane. It just never made the transition.
Okay. Thanks so much for being with us. We'll see you tomorrow.